This is Wes. I'm going to play a little short video. I don't own this video. It's one that I've listened to several times and I meditate on quite often. You will find this live stream in unlisted format. It'll be over on Patreon. Feel free to share it out or whatever, but there's some things we really need to talk about. In 1965, American radio host Paul Harvey took the airwaves with a grave warning of the fate of America. This is his message.
At Runnymede, the Magna Carta was handed to King John on the end of a sword, denying to royalty the right of unlimited taxation. Yet you know, it was for us, the American people, to become the first in recorded history ever voluntarily to surrender our rights to private property. Yes, we did. With an innocent-sounding constitutional amendment, 16th, which says that Congress will have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived. And we forgot to put any limit on the extent to which we could tax ourselves. Conceivably, we could be taxed out of all private property. We could be taxed not 70%, 80%, 90%, but 100%. We could awaken one morning and find that the government owns the farm and the house and the car and has a mortgage on the church, legally. Historically, whenever any nation has taxed its people more than 25% of their national income, initiative was destroyed and that nation was headed for economic eclipse. History says we'll roll forward on momentum for a little while, but we'd better get some more gas in the tank pretty quick. You see, ours is not the first by George good government to arise on the world stage. There have been several. Rome, Spain, and Greece, and China, and each enjoy. Enjoyed about 150 years at its zenith, decayed away. Not one of them was ever destroyed by anybody else's marching legions. Each rotted away, morally, socially, culturally, economically, simultaneously. You know, one of the most cruel paradoxes of history is this. Because each was a good government, it bore bountiful fruit. When they got lazy, they began to want to absolve themselves of personal responsibility and turn over to government to do for them things which traditionally they had been doing for themselves. At first, there appears to be nothing wrong asking government to perform some extra service for you, but if you ask government for extra services, government, in order to perform its increasing function, has to get bigger, right? And as government gets bigger, in order to support its increasing size, it has to what? Tax the individual more, so the individual gets littler. And to collect the increased taxes requires more tax collectors, so the government gets bigger. In order to pay the additional tax collectors, it has to tax the individual more, so the government gets bigger and the individual gets littler. And the government gets bigger, the individual gets littler, until the government is all powerful. The individual is hardly anything at all. The government is all powerful, the people are cattle. Some believe that the need is for a vigorous, strong man to arise on the scene, to regulate and regiment the affairs of men. Yet history tells us there have been several such. Once upon a time, there was an great and powerful and good. She was suffering from the aftermath of war, from a depression. And then came on the scene a leader, an idealist, self-confident, intolerant of criticism. Wisely, he limited his early activities to combating the financial depression. Nobody could argue with that. But in a while, he began to regulate business and establish new rules to govern commerce and finance. Some of them in diametrical disagreement with the laws of supply and demand, but anybody who disagreed with those new rules was promptly fired. The national debt mounted alarmingly. Whenever anybody tried to tell him that governments, even as people, can go broke when they spend beyond their incomes, he said they just didn't understand deficit finance. Or on sand. I say on sand. I am satisfied with all my heart that if Uncle get whipped, or two, it will have been an inside job. It was internal decay. It was not external attack that destroyed the Roman Empire. Starting about 146 BC, internal conditions in Rome were characterized by a welter of class wars and convict brawls, corrupt governors, lack of personal integrity and moral responsibility. And Rome passed into what history has recorded as the Dark Ages, lasting 1,000 years. Just by turning. Now either we will profit from the errors of their ways, or it follows as the night the day, our children are going to have to relive the Dark Age all over again. How come, after thousands of years of experiment, our new nation has come so far so fast? In 200 years. What is the secret of our success? Well, I think it had to do with a basic American's creed. Perhaps it never passed in this form, but if it had, I think he would have said something like this: I believe in my God, in my country, and in myself. I know that sounds like a trite, too simple thing to say, and yet it's a rare man today who will dare to stand up and say, I believe in my God and my country and in myself, and in that order. Well, sir, when that early pioneer turned his eyes toward the West, he didn't demand that somebody else look after him. He didn't demand a free education. He didn't demand a guaranteed rocking chair at eventide. He didn't demand that somebody else take care of him if he got ill or got old. There was an old-fashioned philosophy in those days that a man was supposed to provide for his own and for his own future. He didn't demand a max amount of money for a minimum amount of work, nor did he expect pay for no work at all. Come to think of it, he didn't demand anything.
Gotta love lag. This is gonna be a commercial on me. Oh, this is harsh. Well, we're going to stop this.
Check out this 5-second clip.
You know, in his book.
Hold on. Let me get past that. This is important.
He just looked out there at the rolling plains stretching away to the tall green mountains, and then lifted his eyes to the blue skies and said, thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Well, that spirit isn't dead in our country. It's dormant. It's been discredited in some circles, driven underground, but it isn't dead. It's just that a few seasons ago, politicians baiting their hooks with free barbecue and trading a Ponzi promise for votes began telling us we don't want opportunity anymore. We want security. We don't want opportunity, they said. We want security.
Yes, the yours I would.
And we came to believe them. We wanted security. And they gave us chains, and we were secure. Suddenly, with our constitutional guarantees depleted, with our national character eroding away, with our tax laws penalizing those who dare to prosper, with workers concentrating on how little they can get by with instead of how much they can produce, suddenly we looked overhead one day to discover that the first tin moon in space was a Russian accomplishment. That free men dragging their feet had been outdistanced by slave workers dragging their chains. And we were sore afraid. Perhaps this was a disguised blessing too. Maybe a dramatic accomplishment by this Cold War adversary was necessary to get us off our dead centers and back to work again. If we can revive in ourselves Then in our youth, something of that basic American's creed, the horizon has never ever been so limitless. For man stands now on the threshold of his highest adventure of all, his first faltering footsteps into space. 20 years from today, half of the products you will be using in your everyday living aren't even in the dictionary yet.
I went ahead and stopped it. The link's in the deal over here if y'all want to watch that all the way. He starts getting optimistic. But it's like he wrote that whole thing knowing exactly what was coming. Granted, he was talking about history at the time. But I mean, he could, the first part of that, up to when I stopped it, he could play that about the day. I mean, we could just pull Paul Harvey. I mean, we could let Paul Harvey Jr. do that same speech. And it would be 100% accurate. I mean, with Paul Harvey doing it, it's like 99% accurate. So I don't know that we really need to redo it. I'm going to make this live stream go unlisted after I quit it because just reasons. I will put the link on Patreon because maybe there's somebody out there that cares to hear this. I'm not going to throw it out there and let every Tom, Dick, and Harry tear me apart for it. But I finally get a notification from this guy. Oh, no, there it is. And when I go back for it, I can't find it. Oh, that's a scary fella right there. Oh, okay. Y'all can save this for later and run over there and listen to this young man rant if you want to. Pretty good rant, actually. That's Dry Fire. That's a link to a video Dry Fire Faith put out earlier. I used to think it was strange whenever people were thinking about the same things all the time. You know, I was like, man, these young guys are not young guys, but small channels just watch each other's stuff and then put out their own version of it. I think it's more along the lines of we're all watching the same news. I mean, some of us are more extreme to one way or another way or whatever. Me and Dry Fire do not see eye to eye on everything. Sometimes I think he's downright crazy, but he can probably choose some pretty good words for me too. And we'll have to go to the beer store or liquor store tomorrow. July's month supply of bourbon is lasted into August, but not through August. Let me say hi to everybody. There's a bunch of people have come in. I'm gonna go back up. We've got Dior, Dry Fire Faith, Carol, Aideneer, Keith. Wes S is in here. I like him. C103. Clifford Baldwin. Hey, how's it going? Stacy is learning. Hello. I guess that's everybody. Did I say hi to Chipper yet? Hey, Chipper. Anyway, The state police in Oregon have Bayou Preppers, hello, said they're not going to arrest rioters anymore. They're pulling out of the cities and going back out into places where their efforts will be met with more concern, I guess. They're tired of arresting people and having them released the same night by the following morning or whatever with no charges filed. I mean, you catch a guy lighting a Molotov cocktail and throwing it through the front of a building, you arrest him for arson and rioting, and he goes to jail, and then he's released and the charges are dropped. They say we're not going to play this game anymore. So everybody's like, well, that's because everybody's yelling about the local governments and this, that, and everything else. They need to step up, and they need to do this, and they need to do that. A month ago, I put out a rant about, you watch. They're going to make the local police stand down so much that they have to use the federal police. And then before you know it, there's going to be federal police doing local policing. The Department of Homeland Security guy just came out and said we're going to start doing local policing and filing federal charges for the crimes. She said that today, 2 hours ago. I win. I don't think it's a giant conspiracy with the DMs and the days and the its and the lizard folks and the people that live at the center of the planet and all that crap, which I do believe there's people living in the center of the planet. Mostly just because I think it would be cool and I want it to be true. But there is God, the Holy Trinity, and then there is Satan and the unholy legion. Okay? The Antichrist people. Paul Harvey's got another one. If I was the devil. You need to listen to that too. They go together. I had to decide which one to play. Ronald Reagan does a pretty good one. They saw this coming in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. The conservative right has been trying to shut it down. We failed. A lot of it falls on guys like me who were just like, yeah, that's right. We need to do something about that. And then we didn't. So here we are. What who says and does is two different things. The state cops are pulling out. The only people that are going to be policing the big cities in Oregon now are going to be federal cops. I didn't make that shit up. I saw it on the freaking news. And they're going to go in there and they're going to use this as an excuse to institute a federal freaking policing system so that federal police now have local jurisdiction to charge your ass and my ass with crimes, put us in jail. Welcome to big government. Welcome to big government with the power not only to give everybody what they wanted, but now to take it away. Laheim. We're screwed. Got to November. Just shit in the sack. Armchair commandos are going to start dying by Christmas because your check's not going to come in. It's not going to show up. I think we may be screwed. This is one of those gloom and doom, fear porn things or whatever. When was the last time, question for both C103 and Carol, how are you doing? Yeah, how are y'all doing? About the illegal arrest of Millie Weaver, one of Alex Jones' top news reporter from InfoWars. Now, Alex Jones is still off, man. I don't listen to him. I mean, he had an important role to play in society or whatever, but he's from Austin. So, yeah, you have to be certifiably insane to live in Austin. It's a requirement. I mean, it's true. It's in the state constitution. I'm doing absolutely great. But anyway, when was the last time anybody in here got a night's sleep? Are you sleeping like a baby? And slept for a month. Define what, Stacy? That'll be after we start fighting back, because you refuse not to turn into your own driveway and go to your home because they want you to go through the security check first. So they follow you to your home, drag you out, and arrest you. Because, well, he turned off before he got to the road check. We assumed he was trying to hide. I mean, it's 1984. Mad Max occurred in 2021, for crying out loud. We should have paid closer attention to TV back then. Even the Australians knew what was coming. Oh, he went off the deep end before then, but I mean, he had Alex Jones. I've known guys like him my whole life, but we call them tweakers. Been trying to light cigarettes with that empty thing all day long. Want to point out that was a bullseye. It's because there was a bowl in the trash. That's what that clunk was. I barely make it night stressing, sir. I need to fast and pray Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. Pessimism about America's future would be well placed. Uh, I have taken to night quilling myself, uh, which I've got to quit now because it's starting to induce headaches. But if I don't take the NyQuil and I go to bed, I dream in vivid color of all the things that I'm worried about during the day. So, and maybe so, Diorce. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not going to pay to follow news. I have way better things to spend my money on. Matter of fact, I'm coming up short on everything I need to get done, so I can't swing, $5 or $6, $10 a month for everybody I want to watch. So, if be it done like Crowder and uh, backed off the flamboyance on, he could have stayed on YouTube. And the stimulus checks and stuff that they're doing, and the $600 and whatever, now it's going to be like $400 a week or whatever. They need to cut that shit out and they need to open the country up. Whoever dies, dies. The end. I don't think that many people will go. Overweight, diabetic, COVID, 6 days ICU, no ventilator, just oxygen, and a couple of easy to acquire medications. She'll be at home next week. 2 weeks in the hospital, she'll be home. She's 70 something. The people that think it's real are either people that were conditioned white when it hit, or people that really, really wanted to be a pandemic because that's what they prepped for. Is it a real virus? Yeah. Is it the next bubonic plague? No. If the Black Death hit today, they give people amoxicillin and aspirin. Most nobody but the extremely sick and elderly and stuff would die. Everybody else would be fine. They'd have some scars. We messed around today too long. We actually shouldn't be able to do this live stream. We should have been in Oklahoma. And then tomorrow we should have been in Arkansas. We're trying to move somewhere where there's more rain and less heat. I can build a fire, I can warm up, but you can't stop 110 degrees. It was 110 degrees yesterday. And again today. The sun is so intense that it literally burns the leaves off of my garden. And if we had the whole week, we talked about it. Or I did, actually. We can't find anything in Oklahoma that we can do. There's two properties that I would like to try to buy again, but they're actually more expensive than the last one, and the 20% down payment still applies on raw land. So I don't know that we can do we did not know, because a lot of the banks now, they've already jumped up to 25% down. 25% of $50,000 is a big chunk of money, because that's not all. It's not just the down payment. You have to have other things. You know, you had $2,000 to $2,500, $2,500 on top of your down payment. That's what it costs to get into raw land. It's really flipping expensive. So, anyway. We found some that's so close to the Mississippi, we might as well be on the other side. It's 10 hours. It's a 10-hour drive straight through. I don't mind living across the river. I just don't want to get stuck over there after November. I don't want to have to buy a new firearm every time I cross one of the bridges, because you know they're going to shut those. That's one place in the U.S. they can check every vehicle before they let it cross onto the other side. Where everybody's, oh, they can't do martial law. No, they can't do total martial law, but they can put a chokehold on everything and make everything localized. Then they can deal with localized insurrections. That they can do. They don't have to use the military for it. They can use career cops who have political aspirations for their chosen bureaucratic career. You understand, you Sasquatch know what I'm talking about. Those guys are out there, they'll do what they're told because they want to get the promotion. They actually think they're doing the right thing. I have to get that past a son and a daughter-in-law ish ex baby mama thing, whatever. I don't know if I can get that done. Exactly. I used to have friends in the DEA. And they did what they were told. When they were told, how they were told. Because it's the only way you moved up. Well, technically my brother-in-law had friends, and I just knew them. It was a good source of target ammunition, though, for a 9mm. They were issued so many boxes a month or whatever, so many rounds a month, and if they didn't shoot them up, rather than hoard them, they would just give them to people. I miss those guys. They were funny looking rounds, but they would cycle and they would go bang bang. You know, did y'all ever shoot those? Just a little tiny piece of lead coming out the front, just enough so it would go up in the tube. In a light charge too. I don't know how fast those things were going. They were damn near subsonic. They'd make the plates go ding, so it was fun. I mean, they would cycle. You get them in 38 too at the time. Anyway, back on target or track or whatever. The time for getting ready is here. Carol, I strongly suggest that you make an effort to have a face-to-face with Rob if you don't have a mag where you're at. Rob's good people, and he does have one. I cannot speak for him, but there's a good group of people up there. And it's going to get tighter. But I was saying that with all these riots and with the local governments not doing their job, that the local LEOs were going to give up. And then the federal, they were going to have to do something because we can't go anarchy. I mean, the one thing Trump will not allow, and you're going to tell me that the left doesn't know this, that he's not going to allow is for the country to go total anarchy, because you don't recover from that. It's not a workable society. That this whole sovereign citizen thing, that's not a workable form of government either. There has to be somebody making sure that all the neighbors play by the same rules. We can go back to the Wild West. That's my chicken. No, that's my chicken. No, I guess it was his chicken after all. Or my guy's stealing my cows. Well, Dad, I don't think those are your cows. Well, they were on my side of the fence. I'm not going to let him have those cows. Bang. And my cows now. People aren't inherently good. Everybody, we can make this work. We'll all just get along. That's some of the funniest shit I heard while y'all figure out how to make that work. Y'all let me know. God died on the cross to prove it worked. It still didn't take. Ooh, hunting's better than eating. No. What do y'all think? Y'all think we're screwed? I think we're screwed. Ooh, doggy gas. Yeah, okay. Let's go see what's on my porch. Me either. I'm gonna have to go see what's on my porch. It's probably the dog more. I'll probably let it out. She's probably trying to get back in. It's true dry fire, but that's pacifism all the way to the cross. I don't see anybody pulling that off either. He didn't even expect it because he said we needed to change plowshares for swords or cloaks for swords, and which is weird that sell your only shelter or your first line of defense against the elements to buy an offensive weapon. When you start really thinking about what he said, you're just like, that's it. That's this is going to be unlisted anyway. The only reason I let the public was so everybody show up. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the number of people that come into my live streams have been getting littler and littler and littler. People like it when you do stuff like this. When you bash government or talk about gloom and doom or whatever, but when you try to lift them up and show them there's a better way and help them work through how to have a more positive attitude and outlook on life and stuff, they don't really give a shit about that. I don't want to show off. They ain't be bothered with that. Some of y'all people show up. Regular's clockwork. Everybody else just wants to be all like, wow, I hate you because you suck. It's their fault. They did it. It was them sons of bitches right over there. They caused the whole thing. Hey, Rachel shows up. Hey, Irish. Yeah, all right, Sasquatch. I'll give it 24 hours, dry fire. I should go back to making chicken videos. That's where all my humongous $20 a month or whatever comes from. And I understand. I mean, the Tuesday night's a weird time for everybody, but I had to quit doing so many live streams on here because that's all. I mean, it looked like I never uploaded any other videos, just live streams. The live streams were actually costing me a lot of subscribers. I almost broke 5,000 a couple of times, and then I started doing the live streams all the time, and my subscribers count started dropping. Go figure. So I lost 7 more today. There's nothing. I honestly don't think there's anything we can do to turn the tides on the federal policing, though. That's going to happen now. Can we stop it from spreading nationwide as fast? We can slow it down, yeah. But that's going to take making changes at the local polls. If your prosecuting attorneys and stuff aren't putting everybody behind, and I'm talking, if your kid goes out and bashes the neighbor's windows out and spraying paints BLM on their house, they need to go to jail. But it's going to knock out their chances of getting in college. No, they knocked their chances of getting into college when they went out and trashed the neighbor's house. You can get them probation and make them clean the mess up and stuff like that. You can make it go away, but they should do something for it. That YouTube's just a platform. It's not. It doesn't have horns, and it's not out to get me. I gave up on that little fantasy a long time ago. I'm not important enough for YouTube to come get me. I wish I was that sexy, but I'm not. I'm close, but not quite. Now, they do some stuff, but it's what they do to me, they do to everybody. If when somebody cancels, a lot of it's, people that were subscribed to me, their channels go just dormant because they never came back. They never commented anymore. They found better things to do with their life than watch YouTube, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, then you lose those people. Or if they subscribed to you 4 years ago and then never came back and watched the video, then YouTube will purge them off your subscriber count. Big channels, they lose thousands a day. If they gain 1,001 subscribers in a day, it's not that big a deal if they lose 800 or 900 in a day. We're not talking about the Constitution anymore, David. That's if you'd have got in on the first part of this, the Constitution went out the window a long time ago. We're not. It's not a debate over whether or not what they're going to do is legal. It's a simple fact that they have now been given the power and the authority to do it. We did that. The people of the United States, we are giving them the power and the authority and the ability to do this. So just going to figure out what we're going to do about it. Me, I'm going to head for the hills. I'm probably going to get up in the morning, not too long from now, drive my happy butt out of state and probably sign a note on a piece of property that's way too expensive. $10,000 an acre just so I can get out of this state. Did I say something that you could, did I mess up? Did I misspeak myself? But do you have any odd unmatched socks? C103. Think about that and then get back to you. Well, David, I mean, how are we going to stop them from putting federal police on the streets of Portland, Seattle, Austin, Dallas, New York? New Jersey? I'm open to suggestions. Whether it's legal or not, how are we going to stop it? I sharpen this. It's like really sharp. I got my knife back from Rob Painless. Hi, Lance. How's it going? You can be my granddaughter's boyfriend, Lance, because long distance relationships are safe. Next time I see her, I'll give her a kiss for you. She's a brunette with blue eyes. You'll like her. She's gonna be like really tall though. The other one, the blonde with the deep blue eyes, she's too old for you, and she's gonna be seriously high maintenance. I'd steer away from that one. She's gonna take a very special young man, and I'm not sure that you, having spent your childhood in Hawaii, could handle her. So I'm just saying, just you'll have to deal with Madison. Madison, you all get along great. TV, sports, TikTok. People are losing their freaking minds over TikTok. I had TikTok on my phone for like 3 days. I started the TikTok thing. I'm like, this is stupid. That was going to be like Instagram or something. It's the stupidest thing ever. I mean, TikTok is the biggest waste of time I have ever seen in my life. It's a scam. There's nothing good about TikTok. I mean, you're literally just, if you're lucky. If it's not some guy, you will never believe this, and you're sitting there watching. And it's just a looped 2-second video. And you watch for 15 seconds waiting for something to happen. You just gave him 8 views. And there's nothing there. You're like, this guy's got 1 million views on this thing. Why is there 1 million views on this? And you realize because it's a 1 or 2 second looped video of a glass of water on a table. And he is at home laughing his butt off. He just trolled 1 million people. Or 500,000 or 100,000, depends on how long people sit there like me and watch the stupid glass of water. Yeah, TikTok's annoying. And people are losing their stuff on it. We figured out how to take over the government and rule the world while you're outside Dior's. But it's a shame you're never going to know how we're going to do it. Because if you weren't here, you don't get to play. I already deleted that part of the stream. This is very sad, people. Dead donkey. Yeah, we've been programmed, and that's the Mets, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Because it's, if you think about what's trending on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, it's all stuff that is designed to either dumb you down, give you a little quick endorphin rush, or distract you from the truth. The same videos they were putting out in August of 2015, they're putting out now for August of 2020, just before the election. Literally, the dates have changed. The rhetoric and the propaganda are exactly the same. I blue pill everything. I was watching the show. I take a break from YouTube and the news and stuff, and I watch a couple of episodes of stuff on Amazon Prime. And I was trying to watch this new thing, Hunters or something like that. I was like, they completely destroyed the entire story by 20 minutes into episode 2. I was like, man, I know sooner or later one of these women is going to be gay. I had the wrong one picked, but yes, I'm about 99% sure that if I was to continue watching, one of the men is going to turn out to be gay also. But it's not going to be, which actually, never mind, they, right before the heroine became a lesbian, the United States politician was a cuckold homosexual. Yes. So, yeah. White people are bad. Nazis are smarter than us, and they're just trying to save the planet. And they weren't actually racist. True story, bro. I love Russian dash cams, man. Those are so. I can watch those all night long. See, they got all of us. I almost got my shoulder holder finished. I know y'all don't care. Oh, I forgot I was working on that other one. What is it? It's still down there. I gotta press it. I used to watch some of the instant karma ones, but those are getting lame. I mean, what does it really take? I mean, I was watching puppies and kids play yesterday morning, or that's what I watched with my coffee this morning. Was dogs playing with babies. Just wanted to have a good day. And then I made the mistake of opening the news. What up, man? I don't know. I'm not Canadian, dude. I think I should just like join the U.S. and we should just get rid of that border and well, like French Canada or what? Canada, French Canada. Y'all could like stay your own country. Um, that stuff that's just like north of the Great Lakes and like east of Michigan, y'all could keep that, but we want the rest of it because that's like the cool part. Just- I haven't seen the Russian logging trucks. Uh, Murder mysteries and ghost stories. I should have figured that one. The missus, her deal are she watches scary stories that aren't scary. She's always in there. She's in there watching ghost story videos and just laughing. Well, but then again, she thinks that Carrie is a kids movie or Friday the 13th is family TV. She can watch children under the stairs and or people under the stairs and go straight to sleep. Uh, just broken head. Yeah, and we just want the Rockies and the Lake Country up north. I just want to be able to drive to Alaska without having to go to Canada first. What's what I'm saying? I mean, get rid of all that junky part. We'll just keep the good part. The part with the hillbillies and the guys that go, a lot. Think about how crazy all them guys up there that in Canada that live just the other side of the border from Minnesota. Well, Minneapolis is all messed up too. Isn't that Minnesota? I live on the south part of the prairies. I think prairies suck. It's a bunch of flat country. See all the way into the next county from my house. I'm about 3.5 hours from the border. But if I go across the border, I'll be in Mexico. I actually found some land that I'm interested in Texas. It's almost in Oklahoma. But it'd be just as harsh as it is here. No, that would be me, yours. I watch everything Bob Gillum puts out because he tells such really good stories. And they're all based in fact and science and theory, and you're just like, okay, I didn't used to believe in Bigfoot, but I do now. And that's because of Bob Gillum. I'm also scared of Indian bears. Indian bears, the vegetarian ones, the ones that don't even eat meat, the ones that have to live with tigers, them things shred human beings. But it's because that's how they keep from getting eaten by tigers. It's really cool. You should go watch the stuff. I would love to go to Canada and do some ice fishing, but um, you have to walk out on the lake on ice in the wintertime when it's cold. Did I mention that it was 111 degrees today? Yeah. We freak out when it snows down here. We're like, what is it? What is that white stuff? We're like, did something catch on fire? Nobody lives up in the north of Canada because there's nothing there, dude. There's like giant fish and little lakes that you have to have a canoe because you can't actually go from lake to lake without dragging it across the land or whatever. Why would you drive your truck out on the lake? No, Stacy, you're from Texas. Are you like from a real part of Texas or like one of the other parts? What part of Texas are you from? Just a general area. Don't tell me your town or nothing like that because these people in here are crazy. They'll like that Dior's dude. He'll like stalk you and stuff. Nothing. We were talking about YouTube videos. This rant on political activism has gone to just saying. That's okay, Sasquatch. I'll just tell the missus what you did and let her deal with you. It was nice knowing you. Screw that. Yeah, it gets hot and humid down there. I go to down to San Antonio, south of San Antonio. So now, if I could find some dirt around Junction, I'd move over there. I like Junction. This has been tickling me for 30 minutes. Junction's pretty. Junction's technically in the hill country, though. It's not actually South Texas. It's cooler down by the Gulf, though, isn't it? I don't know what part of South Texas. Say, no. This is definitely not a G-rated. As a matter of fact, I'll probably put an age restriction on it. What is IRL? Bigfoot has a way better chance of existing than Skinwalker. Um, Betty Boo went live across from me again. She does not have the bell clicked for my channel. But I've been on here over an hour anyway. I don't know what to tell y'all other than if you don't have people, get people. If you're waiting for a reason to abandon all hope and run for the hills, and you haven't found one yet, you're never going to see one. You're looking for the bus that's going to hit you, and it's behind you. It's not the where you're looking. It's already coming. It's behind you. That storm knocked out how many acres of corn and wheat and such? They shut down how many meat processing plants? How many acres of vegetables stayed in the field and rotted? How many metric tons of food turned into fertilizer? %85 of a nation's food reserves was lost to a fertilizer explosion. People actually think that Biden is a viable alternative or option for president of the United States. I can't see your picture well enough to tell if you're a Luis or a Louis. So here's the deal. Personal feelings on tattoos. Getting a pentagram and Satan tattooed on your arm, that's probably not a good plan. Or tattooing your boyfriend or your girlfriend is a really bad idea. I used to do tattoos. I would not put a girl's or a boy's name on somebody. I would put their children's names on because those are forever. And I've got my children. My children are on my arm. Oh, that's doable. I mean, that's understandable, but you're not supposed to put marks on your body that represent deities So I kind of got a problem with the Virgin Mary or saints. My children all have Bible verses tattooed on them, and I don't know what to think about that. My daughter is 60% tattoos, and that doesn't bother me. The piercings, I can't stand that. I overlook them because I love my daughter, but I just, yeah, I just don't understand why people want to do that. That's just me. I don't think putting a tattoo on yourself is going to get you in hell. I don't think putting a tattoo on yourself is going to keep you out of heaven. But if the tattoo is innocent, I don't see a real problem with it. To me, it's art. But if you worship art, then it becomes idol. So it's, if you just gotta have a tattoo, why don't you get 3 bloody nails and a cross? Luther didn't die for you. Just saying. Yeah, and that's something else. If did you ever tell me whether you were male or female there? Louis. Okay, Louis. Um, Tattoos do not belong in your face, your neck, your hands, or your wrists. Dudes do not wear tramp stamps. Okay. Have a little respect. Um, Thighs, arms, shoulder blades, um, shoulders. Don't do it to rebel against society or the mainstream norm. There's better ways to do that. Do not expect them to look good when you're 55 because they won't. They have an expiration date. A whole new meaning to the phrase "Black Hawk Down," eh, Dior's? Oh, you can't hide from it. All you can do by leaving is postpone it. Our side wins in the end. I don't know if y'all read the book or not, but we win in the end. So, my first tattoo at 17 looks like crap. No, it's hideous. Um, Most of them have faded so much you can't hardly tell what they are. That used to be a really crisp griffin. Oh, it's upside down. Not crisp anymore. Some of the lines and all the shading's gone. Color. Can't even tell he's got claws on his back legs. Can't tell where his claws are on his front legs. And I'm just saying, I mean, that's the why did you get those verses? Are you going to spend the rest of your life living up to those verses? On my kids on the Bible verses they got. I don't know. I have a hummingbird, but that's just I think hummingbirds are bitching. Um, it's actually part of a joke, but it was. I used to drink a lot, smoke a lot of dope, stayed high a lot. So I got a hummingbird on my leg and an orchid. Someone said, "Oh, some girl would say, oh, that's a pretty hummingbird. You want to see the orchid? It's not where you guys think it was. It ain't that tough, but it was always worth a laugh." Orchid looks like shit, man. Hummingbird does too. The purple didn't stay like it should have. Anyway. It's up to you. I mean, if you don't think it's nothing, then don't let it be nothing. Tattoos are personal, just like everything. I mean, your walk with God's personal. If you pray the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost says, "Get a tattoo." I don't give a shit. Then get a tattoo. If the Holy Ghost says, "Well, you might want to think that all the way through," you might want to hold off. No, the Holy Ghost will not talk to you while you're inebriated. Just saying. I was reading it. Yeah, thanks, David. The old ladies with the pierced ears, though, that's because they always put them big, heavy ass earrings in them. My son's ears are gauged. He put nickels in them. That divorce is probably going to cause you some serious heat later in your immortal life. Just saying. See what I did there? I don't have a problem with anybody not believing in hell. They'll figure it out later. Bacon starts to sizzle. It's too late to take it off the fire. I'll just say it. I put a lot of butterflies on a lot of places. That's going to make them stretch. That's a fact. I always try talking ladies out of putting them in places where the skin was going to be abused. So. I wish my hands were still steady enough to do it. Bad attack helicopters are melted down and turned into shell casings. Deals, I'm just saying. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm going to call it a night. It's tomorrow already. Really long drive. Maybe if you're a good attack helicopter and then you crash and burn, you'll be reincarnated as an A-10 Warthog, and you can go on stuff. Oh yeah. There's actually a science fiction novel out there that does a really good job of describing hell. It was written by a man of faith about the future. Um, but anyway, seriously, appreciate all y'all. Y'all have a good one. I know it's Friday night, and if I can get somewhere where there's internet, I'll try to go live tomorrow as well. It'll be a regularly scheduled one, and it'll be more upbeat than this, I would hope. So maybe I can tell y'all, we found the perfect place and put the down payment on it, and we're rocking on, and everything's good, and stuff, but probably not. We'll see. Love all you people. God bless. Stay alive, don't die. At the very least, learn to love one another. That's one thing that will not kill you.